Hello and welcome, everyone. What I think this means is that you love someone here more than you hate coronavirus. Is that right?
Last concert.
That's right, the last one in the nation. Yeah. So now is the time, we are all theater people, now is the time you double check to make sure that your phone was off, because this is a live recording session. Isn't that exciting? We're going to record it live and throw the album up on Bandcamp, and then we're also going to put the video up on YouTube, and that's all thanks to Hayden's incredible multifaceted talents. So now that we've all double-checked our phones, I'm going to say an opening prayer, and then we're going to go straight into Hayden's first number of the night.
I sing out to melody to halt every tear. I sing out to melody when trouble is near. My heart goes pitter-patter with the song, it doesn't matter what trouble the future may bring. For no trouble can face me when I have a song to sing.
So, like Abram said, thank you so much for coming to our End of the World concert. We're very excited to have you guys all here. Like he said, it's a live recording session, which is going to be very fun. But feel free to make as much noise as you want. You can laugh as loud as you want to. That's just going to make it even better. So everything that we're playing tonight is original music that I wrote. Yeah. For those of you that didn't clap, it's only going to be an hour, so don't worry about it. Some of the songs were written, a few years ago. Some of them were literally written 10 days ago. They're not the entirety of the collection. There's a lot more, and some of my favorites didn't even make it in. But Abram and I got together and listened to a bunch of songs from the catalog, and we chose these ones that somehow we thought would be a good story to tell. And so they're all from different, some of them are little 1-minute ditties, like the one that I just played there, where I feel like that's all that I need to do to the song. I don't need to add any verses, that's all I want. Some of them are from unfinished musical theater projects that I'm working on, which those ones are going to be changing a lot, but you get to hear like a quick preview of it and what the musicals are from. And some of them are just more cabaret style, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And that one, When I Have a Song to Sing, is the only one that I'm actually singing. The rest of them are being sung and performed by these wonderful people. Which, from all of the rehearsals, is nice because they sound a lot better on my songs than I do. So you're in for a big treat with that. It's fun because it's like, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like. So the first one of the night is going to be sung and performed. I'll be on piano, but sung and performed by Scott Villanueva. This one is called Jitterbug. I can actually see you guys, so by raise of hands, who here has seen, and now I forget the name of the movie, The Other Side of Heaven? Yeah, that Mormon movie. So a few years ago, I reached out to the writer-director of it, and I said, have you thought of turning this into a musical by chance? He's like, we've always had that idea, but never really acted on it because we didn't know how to go about it. I'll stop trying to play with my hands so much. And I said, well, could I spec a song for you? You can see if you like it or hate it, and if you do, that's totally fine. If you like it, then maybe we can do something about this. And he said, okay, well, write a song or two, and then send me some other music that you've written so you can hear your style. So I wrote this one, which is like the very, very beginning of the movie, which is like the only American song in it, and it's to kind of provide that stark contrast between America and the islands that he goes to. And so this is an unfinished song that I sent to him, and he liked it, and I have the rights to turn that into a musical. So hopefully one day we'll actually get that going. But this is a sneak peek of the first song from The Other Side of Heaven, the musical, called Jitterbug.
Probably wondering just how it is solved all the problems I was facing while me being me and all. Well, I'll tell you real quick, tighten the belt in your pants. It's a little something special called the Jitterbug Dance. I do the jitterbug, hey, I do the jitterbug. I only got one move, but between you and me, all I do is the Jitterbug. I do the jitterbug, hey, yeah, I do the jitterbug. The jitterbug. When I see a pretty woman sitting right across the room, she's the kind of pretty lady makes the other fellas swoon. I don't think I can do it, I call it my pitch hitter. Hey, meet my friend, Bug, comma Jet. I do the jitterbug, hey, I do the jitterbug. I only got one move, but between you and me, all I do is the Jitterbug. I do the jitterbug, hey, I do the jitterbug. The jitterbug. Hold me back now, here I go! Kind of boring, waiting for that gust of wind to take you away to the places that you've been. To find the greater purpose, to find the higher cause, well, call me a bug, send me straight back to Oz. I do the jitterbug, I do the jitterbug. I only got one move, but between you and me, all I do is the Jitterbug. I do the jitterbug, I do the jitterbug. The jitterbug. I ain't done yet, so don't call me a quitter. Get a hop in my step and a little bit of cheddar. Oh my, on me. How lucky to be in the land of the free. Stepping real quick in the USA. Well, that's a 6 less letters than what I want to say. Take a look outside at the Grand Marquis. It spells Jitterbug. The Jitterbug.
Hey, Hayley, can I get the monitor turned up? They like it more than I thought they would. So, like I said, when I have a song to sing, it's just a quick 1-minute ditty, and we have 3 of them tonight, and this is the second one. And I've always wanted to write an album that's just titled I Only Wrote a Verse and a Chorus, because sometimes I feel like that's all I need to do to tell the story that I want to. And, I finished this one and tried to start writing another verse, and it didn't feel right because I thought it had run its full course. So this is the most cliche song you'll hear tonight, and it even calls itself out on that. So I wanted to make it as intentionally cliche as possible. So here's Ben Barrus singing, I don't know what I called it.
I'm on top of the world, enjoying the view, so I ain't coming down. And I know it's cliche to say that I'm better when you are around. And the butterflies you give me, I don't vocalize the feelings, I don't recognize the fuzzies I feel. And for so many palpable reasons, I'm taking in the ride while you're taking your time. I want you to know me like I know you. Do-do-do-do, dee-dee-dee-dee. I want you to know me like I know you. La da da da, like I know ya. If you only knew about me and you.
So again, raise of hands. Another little Mormon movie. Has anyone seen Mobsters and Mormons? Okay. So it's a weird way that we got connected, but I talked to the writer of that, who's also the writer of Singles Ward. We actually trained under the same hypnotist. So I reached out to him and I said, have you thought of turning either of these into a musical? He said, again, I've always thought about it, but never done anything with it. And I was like, well, can I write a song and send it to you and see what you think? And he said, I would love that. So I wrote this one and talked to him like 3 years ago and then never have sent it to him because this is the first time hearing it with people other than me. For some reason, it took that long to do it. So this one, if you've seen it, it totally is the making of a good musical. It is an odd film, but has the makings of a very fun musical. And two characters that I thought were underappreciated and underused in that movie were the little two henchmen of the mobster. I thought they'd be great comic relief. So here are two henchmen as they enter a computer store to try and get the tech guy to try and figure out where this new guy moved to. If you don't know what the movie is, I'm sorry, but I'm still as lost as you are. So here is On the Good Side.
Remember the Caroli brothers from the other year? They told the boss some bad news that he didn't want to hear.
He took one good last look and then he swung with his fist. We didn't actually see it, but it's one we're glad we missed.
So a note to all the other mobsters hanging out at large. Yeah, you got to be on the good side of the man in charge.
The guy really scares me.
His face will start to wrinkle with this unappealing frown. And if you were the cause, you'll end up 6 feet underground.
And if you got some info, well then give us the dish. Forget who you're working for and you'll sleep with the fish.
So you better learn to watch your back. Don't be caught unawares. Yeah, you got to be on the good side of the man upstairs.
He's in Utah. Here's his address.
And how did you do it? Hack into the system, steal some files?
He just posted about it on his blog.
Oh, our little genius.
What once was locked can now be open, and here is the key.
We'll teach this punk a lesson, help him remember his family tree.
The world is pretty large,
But we know exactly where to look.
and when he bring him back to the boss, will
Be forever off the hook, yeah. No longer will we be afraid of all the empty threats. This guy who double crosses is about to pay our debts. We don't have to worry when the boss is on our side. No, he'll be in the corner, so you better run and hide. The two of us ain't going nowhere. Write our names down in pen. Yeah, you got to be on the good side of Angelo and his right hand man.
Okay, this next one, again, by raise of hands. Who played the Pokemon games growing up? Okay, this is gonna be even funnier. Who did not? You're gonna be so lost. Speaking of people who have never played a Pokemon game in their life, Brother Hill, the lead singer of the song about Pokemon. I was working on a Pokemon video games parody musical a few years ago. Ended up leaving the project, and I took my songs with me. And this is one of those ones that never actually got to see the light of day. And this is the only time it'll ever be performed. So, there's not really much more I can say other than let's just do it.
I don't know what that means.
In this wonderful world full of magical creatures that for some reason we keep as pets is a boy stuck in a town with less doctors than vets. I've studied Abra and Zubat and all those between them. I've lived my life a decade and somehow I've never seen 'em. What a dream to go catch Pokemon. A journey for both boys and girls. Those who want to be in this Pokemon world. It's time to get up. The day is here now. Adventure awaits. Year after year now. I've got my braces off and now my teeth are clean and straight and pearled. Now I'm mature enough for that Pokemon world. All right, Aunt Sissy, I'm off to catch 'em all. I'll be back for Helix Day.
Oh shoot, is that today? Right, all boys leave home someday. It said so on TV.
Oh, there.
I'm fine. Professor Oak next door is looking for you. You better go see what he wants.
What could he want? Maybe I'll get from him a Pokemon. And one of those balls that they come in. I'll show them all these new attacks, maybe a defensive curl. All these moves to teach in this Pokemon world.
Oh, hello, Ash.
Hello, old man.
Where are you off to?
Oh, nowhere. Nothing special, really. I'm off to Professor Oak's to start my Pokemon adventure today.
Oh, good for you. Remember, when catching Pokemon, try mashing the B button repeatedly.
That should make it easier.
Gee, thanks.
Welcome to Pallet. Welcome to Pallet Town. Welcome to Pallet. Welcome to Pallet Town.
Technology is incredible. You can now store and recall items and Pokemon as data via PC.
Light years are a measurement of distance and not time.
Thanks for the info, nerds. Hey, Joey, nice shorts.
Thanks, they're comfy and easy to wear.
Classic Joey.
If you need some Pokeballs, our market will supply
If
them.
Pokemon begin to fail, our center will revive them.
They're great company. They'll ask you how you've been.
Just don't press A too many times, they'll ask it all again. Welcome to Pallet. Welcome to Pallet Town. Welcome to Pallet. Welcome to Pallet Town.
Looking around, what do I see here staring at me? Out in that tall grass over there, is it a Pidgey or a Nidoran or a Sandshrew that's unfurled? All these things to see in this Pokemon world. I've got my backpack on, and now I'm set to go and be the very best. I may be 10, but then again, it's time to start my quest.
Time to start his quest. Welcome to Pallet. Welcome to Pallet Town. Welcome to Pallet. Welcome to Pallet Town. We're ready to go. Let's start the show now. The story is set. We've got to go now. It looks hard to impress you guys, but we'll give it all a whirl. As you step inside our Pokemon world. Our Pokemon world. Our Pokemon world. As you step inside our Pokemon
you. I never second-guessed your thoughts each time you went to Houston. Instead, I sat within these walls I'm trapped and abused in. That girl you found that you thought I wouldn't find, it's not just her, it's all of them. You thought you snuck and hid them, thought them a needle in the haystack. Well, Houston, you've got a problem. I'm packing up the bags, filling up my truck. Say hello to me, to your lady luck. I won't be here anymore. I won't be here anymore. No, not any longer. I've been here way too long, now that I will admit. But I'm done with you, you no good piece of... I remember when you took me to that beach in Malibu. We met some of your friends and we were celebrating you. I saw your one true side that day. These perfect girls tied up in bows. All that was missing were the dollar bills. You've proven you like those. I won't be here anymore. I won't be here anymore. No, not any longer. With all those bimbos around, no wonder temptations permit. But I was loyal to you. You no good piece of... Damn it. All the good times are wasted, the memories faded away. Your heart and your actions make the forever you promised seem so far away. I'm done with this game, here, take back your name. What does forever mean to you? 'Cause it means a lot to me. I won't be here anymore. No, not anymore. There was this one little thing I think I did omit that should say to hell with you, you lousy piece of shit. I won't be here anymore. I won't be here anymore. No, not any longer. I won't be here anymore.
coronavirus, I'm just choked up a little. I also need a lot of water. So, there were 2 songs there. The first one, New Recording 574. What an odd name, right? I've never put a name to it because that's what the name was on my phone when I recorded it. And I never wanted someone to look at the name and have an idea of what they were supposed to feel during it. Every time that I play that, and it's one of the simplest things I've written, but I think it's my favorite thing that I've ever written. Because every time I play it, it means something completely different to me. And sometimes I play it when I'm just incredibly happy, and it's the only way that I can deal with all the wonderful things that are happening. And sometimes I do it when, I'm having such anxiety and depression, and it helps too. So I never wanted to put a name to it, because I never wanted you to think that's what you were supposed to feel, because I hope, and the way that we did it in the show, I hope that everyone was able to feel something completely different than everyone else in their room. The next song, Anymore, was a song that Maryn Tueller sent me a link to a contest by Taylor Louderman on Broadway. They said, songwriters submit a song. So I started writing a song, and I wanted to write about when we give people control without us knowing it. And I wanted to talk about how hating gives them that control. And there's probably people in our lives that we hate, and they don't really even remember that we exist that much. But us holding that for some stupid reason gives them power over us. And we can't move on until we spur them off from our life, until we say they are no longer in control of how I feel, whether it's intentional or whether it's not intentional. And in this song, I wanted to do that quite literally of she's trying to swear off this person. And the story of the song, I wanted to pluck it right from the middle of a pretend musical. So the story of it is Olivia's character is, she fell in love with the first person who ever really gave her attention. It's a toxic relationship. And, this is not Olivia's character. So, just so you know, I don't know if I said that. But her character fell in love with the first person that ever gave her attention. Very toxic relationship, and he was very, very controlling and wanted to, have all of her attention. And so, I don't know if they're married or if they're dating for a very long time, but basically he got her to cut all ties with her family. He has no friends, they moved away, she has nothing but this guy. And she finds out that on his business trips, wherever he's going to, in the song she says Houston, but wherever he's going to, he's cheating on her with not one but multiple women. And she finds this out, and for the longest time she still can't leave because she doesn't know where to go. And she thinks, even though, our family, for so many circumstances, is always there for us, she thinks that no one's there. And she's too scared to move on. And so she doesn't for the longest time. And then this song finds her while he's away on business, in the corner of her closet with enough light to write a letter. And that song is the letter that she writes to him. But now that I've said shit in front of you guys, I feel that I need to justify that. So most of you, if you're in this room, you know kind of my background of why I went to piano. But for those of you that don't, or those of you that heard the very condensed story, and I'm still going to condense it, when I was, as soon as I graduated high school, I started my mission papers and finished with the state president interview and the physical and everything within 24 hours. And it was submitted. It was very, very fast. We were very excited. And then we waited 3 months, and I hadn't heard anything back. So I talked to my parents, and my dad gives me a blessing, like, Heavenly Father, please, give us an answer. We don't know what's happening here. And within hours after that, I got a call from my state president asking me to come in for an interview the next morning, on Sunday morning. So I went in, and he said I was not able to serve a mission because of my existing anxiety disorder. And this was kind of first when anxiety in missionaries was first finally being recognized back in 2014. And so they said, you already have an existing one, we're not going to send you out with that. And I was really heartbroken. I felt really alone. I didn't know what to do because I had quit my job to focus on preparing for my mission. I had denied a really great scholarship for technology school because at the time I was going to go into computer programming. And for some reason, this is the worst of them all, was I had already posted on Facebook. And hundreds and hundreds of people, surprisingly, which was more than any of my other posts got, had been guessing where I was going to go. And now I needed to tell them, it was kind of like my first with my friends, to do that. I had to tell them that I was not going. It was really hard. I felt completely alone, and I sat down at a piano for the first time in my life and started playing it. Probably not well, but I started playing it. I didn't know one note from the other, but I quickly found that that was kind of the only thing that was bringing me calm in my life. And so moving forward with that, as you can see in New Recording 574, is I still find a lot of peace in playing the piano. So moving forward, I started playing, and I still don't know how to read any type of music. I know I researched music theory. Scott, when he was tuning his guitar today, he was asking me notes. It would take me a few seconds to try and find which note that is supposed to be on the piano. I have a really hard time with it. But when I'm playing piano, I feel incredibly close to our Savior. And so since that happened, I've had wonderful opportunities where I've been able to write music for like the Plano Theater, or write music for the theater department, like Wind in the Willows and Antigone back in 2016. And I've been blessed to share moments like funerals and write new arrangements of the deceased person's favorite song, which is just an incredible thing to me. But one moment that sticks out the most is back in 2015. It was my very first semester here, and I was working tech on a show, and I was walking home, and I was walking by the music rooms here, which the music rooms here are terrifying because there's music majors everywhere, and they don't want to hear me go in and start playing chords, right? They want to hear Mozart and Bach or all that stuff that I'm never going to play. And I was walking by one, and I just got this feeling to stop and play an arrangement that I had been writing that I was going to perform in a few days at church. I was like, I'm not going to go. I'm tired. It's after a technical rehearsal. I'm sure we can all see that we want to go to bed after a technical rehearsal. So I kept walking, and then I felt Holy Ghost say again, stop and practice. So I was like, fine, I'll do it one time. So I walked in the room, and I played the first church medley that I ever wrote, called my Testimony Medley. And I played it once, I didn't really think much of it, and I finished, and as soon as I hit the last note, there was a knock at the door, and this man comes in. And he was crying. I was kind of just like, I have no idea what's happening right now. But he just said a few times, he just muttered, thank you, thank you, thank you, and then he left. And I was kind of just like, I tried to say something to him, and I really couldn't. So he left, and it's like, I gotta go find him, and thankfully he was just in the practice room right next to me. And when I went in, he was in the middle of a prayer on his knees. So I waited, and as soon as he finished, I walked in there. It's like, can I talk to you for a minute? Turned out he was engaged, and he was having a really hardened heart because his future mother-in-law was really against the marriage. And even though he loved this woman so much, they were talking about calling the wedding off because they didn't want to try and go through that. And he said that he went in there to pray privately in a practice room, and that as soon as he started praying is when my first note played. And so he listened to the song and came in, and then when I talked to him, he said, I know without a doubt that I need to spend the rest of the eternity with this woman that I love. So it's just a moment when I realized what missionary work means and how we need people here on the home front as well. And it doesn't take a name tag to serve a mission. It doesn't take a name tag to be a disciple of Christ. And I'm thankful that even though I wasn't able to go along this path that I had created for myself, that I was somehow able to fall into this path that he created for me. And so now I would like to play for you my testimony. So that one is available right now, actually. I released an album called Songs of a Testimony, and that's on there. And for those of you that are familiar with it, that one sounded a little bit different, and the technical term for that is called mistakes. So if you want to hear it played correctly, it's on Spotify. This next song is the third 1-minute ditty of the night. You see, the title is The World Needs Love, and again, it's a simple instruction in this song, so it didn't need more than a verse and a chorus. And it comes at a time where, you know, a lot of things are happening around the world which require love. I wrote this one about 10 days ago, and I will say that I would love for you guys to interpret this however you want to. I didn't tie this to any event or rally. I just think that it should be we just love each other. And so that's what this song stands for. However you want to interpret it, I'd love for you to interpret that way. But it's mostly just the global problem. And this is Connor Wood singing The World Needs Love.
All these things and the tragedies, we're bound to keep just our painful memories. But let's not forget that we're all the same. The only thing between us is a different name. And the world needs love, love, love. The world needs love, love, love. So go out there and love somebody, whoa, oh, oh. Go out there and love somebody, whoa. Love somebody, whoa, oh, oh. Go out there and love somebody, whoa. 'Cause the world needs love.
Okay, so I'm a big Lexi Walker fan. And a few years ago, when I was at a Pascal Paul concert, UVU, was it? UVU, we were at a Pascal Paul concert, and I saw Lexi Walker, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to marry her, gotta talk to her now. In a few years, when she's legal. So, I went up to her, and I talked to her, it's like, hi Lexi, I'm a huge fan. She's like, oh, you are? And I said, yes, and I've written a song specifically for you to sing, can I send it to you? So you can listen to it and see if it fits your style. She's like, oh my gosh, I would love that. She gave me her email address. And after the concert, I talked to Abram. So I talked to Lexi Walker, and I told her about a song that I wrote for her. He's like, really, which one is that? I'm like, oh, I haven't written one. So on the way home, we stalked her Instagram more than I already had, and started brainstorming about Lexi Walker. And one of the things about any, childhood performer is that they're kind of thrust into becoming an adult really quickly. And one of my favorite quotes about Walt Disney, I'm not even going to try and quote it because I'm going to butcher it, but he talks about how his movies aren't made for children, they're made for the child in all of us, which I think that's why we do theater, is because of the child in all of us. And so we started talking about stories and storybooks and why we love those, and of course Disney, because she loves Disney as does everyone else, unless you're a war criminal. And so we started talking about different stories and what it means. And so the story of the story is Maryn's character is she loves storybooks, and we find her, under the sheets of her bed when she's supposed to be sleeping with a flashlight reading these stories. And it turns into her showing us, look at all of these amazing stories that you can read. And so this is the stories that I read at night, performed by Maryn Tueller.
Open a window and wait for Peter Pan to take you soaring on a journey through the sky. Planets of treasure and hopes beyond measure, and love that no money can buy. There's some hope there for the little guy, a lion that's a little shy, an elephant too scared to fly. Dancing with fantasy, waltzing with wonder, moments of magic and a spell These are the tales told of might. These are the truths brought to light. These are the stories that I read at night. Take a journey on straight through the jungle. Find necessities simple and bare. Or climb the side of a tower without the help of a maiden with long golden hair. Whether waking a princess asleep from a potion or exploring tropical shores. Come with me, you'll be free. Take a boat through the ocean or ride on a carpet that soars. But pause to see the lanterns towering in view. It sparks a feeling, igniting a feeling that's anything but new. Dancing with fantasy, waltzing with wonder, moments of magic and a spell that you'll fall under. These are the tales told of might. These are the truths brought to light. These are the stories that I read at night. No problem's too big where it can't be fixed with some sugar that's left in a spoon. Where's your sense of adventure subside and then enter a house that's suspended in the air by balloon? Enter a world with some flair where two people meet and are caught in a stare and then turn the page. Yes, there's love in the air with two dogs and spaghetti or a toss of confetti. Need a change in your tune, grab that book, are you ready for stories that will share? Dancing with fantasy, waltzing with wonder, moments of magic and a spell that you'll fall under. These are the tales told of might. These are the truths brought to light. These are the stories that I read. Dancing with fantasy, waltzing with wonder, moments of magic and a spell that you'll fall under. These are the tales told of might. These are the truths brought to light. These are the stories that I read at night.
Finished it 2 weeks ago, still haven't sent it to Lexi Walker. So this next one, The Opposite of Loneliness, is in 2016, when I was at the Plan Mill, we went up to Bozeman, Montana, went to Barnes & Noble or Hayes? Barnes & Noble. And I was looking for something to inspire some sort of song or project. And I remember seeing this book titled The Opposite of Loneliness, and I literally pointed at it after looking all through the store, and I pointed at it, and it's like, oh, I want to do that one. Had no idea what it was. And The Opposite of Loneliness is a collection of essays, and the title essay, The Opposite of Loneliness, is written by someone named Marina Keegan. And when I read the essay, she was at Yale University and had just graduated. And she had written this essay kind of as a final goodbye and love letter to Yale and to everyone there. And this was when she graduated in 2012. And so I was like, this is awesome. I want to write this into some sort of cabaret song. And so I started writing it, and halfway through the song while I was writing it, I read the first page of the book, the preface, and found out that she had passed away only 2 days after she graduated. On her way to her family to celebrate her graduation. Her boyfriend was dying, and she was killed in the car accident. He survived. It's one of those moments where it's just the powerfulness of the essay stands on its own. The only thing is unfortunately we lost her. She was going on to write, and her whole collection of essays is truly incredible. So I, half the lyrics in here are mine, half of it is taken straight from the essay, and I sent this song to her family, and asked, can we do something with this? And they said they loved it, and that Marina would have loved it, which meant the world to me, but they said they had already signed away the rights. And so, not able to do it, so we're performing it here tonight, and that's where it's going to live, is with you guys here in this room tonight. Sue me. Please don't, we have no budget for this. So here, and this is a hard song to sing and play, so this is Mistakes and All, but this is Olivia Juretich singing The Opposite of Loneliness. One sec, I need a drink. Already. Okay.
We don't have a word for the opposite of loneliness. But if we did, I could say that's what I want in life. What I'm grateful and thankful to have found at Yale, and what I'm scared of losing when we wake up after commencement and leave this place. It's not quite love, and it's not quite community. It's just this feeling that there are people, an abundance of people, who are in this together, who are on your team. The friends we've made together in these past few years, friends who reassure you never come up flat. When the check is paid, and then you stay at the table where you sat. At the time we did, we went, we saw, we felt, we laughed, the hats. The time has come for all of us to move on up. The time we say goodbye to one and all. Things we wish we did, our studies, even that boy across the hall. The best years still to grasp here at our final curtain call. Our final curtain call. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm scared of losing this web we're in, this elusive, indefinable opposite of loneliness. This feeling I'm feeling right now. But we're all scared. There's this sentiment I sometimes sense creeping into our collective conscious that somehow it is too late. There are others somehow are more ahead, more accomplished, more specialized, more on the path to somehow saving the world. We're so young. We're 22 years old. We have so much time. When we came to Yale, there was this sense of possibility, this immense and indefinable potential energy. Once young and hopeful with a bit of luck, this feeling and thrill we must revive. Where's the passion? Where's the fervor? Where's the eagerness and drive? This passion that once kept us all alive. What we have to remember is that we can still do anything. We can change our minds, we can start over, get a post back, or try writing for the first time. We must not lose this sense of possibility, because in the end, it's all we have. Some of us know exactly what we want and are on the path to get it. To you, I say both congratulations and you suck. We leave our haven made of history to cross the street this time alone. Gathered laughter, gathered purpose in the backseat heading home. This time we jump headfirst in the unknown. And if you're falling slowly and forget to breathe, all these memories fading and every last ambition starts to leave, just look to the morning. The sun is always shining in this world that we've made. Somewhere out there there's a place for me. Somewhere out there we'll write history with our new degrees, making memories. Time is on our side. We don't have a word for the opposite of loneliness. But if we did, I'd say that's how I feel right here and right now with all of you. And we don't have to lose that. We're in this together, 2012. Let's make something with the moments we have. Let's change the world!
So that song takes on kind of a whole new meaning with these announcements in the past few days, because there's a lot of us in here who are graduating this semester, and we don't get to walk anymore, and everything's being changed, and so that song is just kind of for you guys out there. So we have one more tonight from a musical that I really, really, really want to finish, called Rain. And it's kind of like a funky jazz disco type of thing, or it will be eventually. This is the opening number, which is going to change drastically. The thing about this musical is it's a choose your own adventure. So the songs are always going to be a little bit different every night, and you get to decide the entire storyline, who does what. Sometimes entire songs will not be sung, sometimes alternate lyrics will be sung, all depending on what the audience votes for, which I really, really want to finish. And the other thing is every single storyline in the show is based on an existing Shakespeare play. So basically every line here has some sort of anecdote and reference to Shakespeare, and it's fun because even Abram's looking through it, and it will take him like 3 times to be like, oh, I recognize that one. So if you can get Abram, you guys are going to be really lost. So here is the opening number to Rain. And before that, just thank you guys so much for coming out here tonight. And if you're in this room, then chances are I have loved being your friend these past few years, and I will continue to be your friend when I graduate and leave. And thank you to all of you performers and stuff for doing this. We've spent a lot of hours rehearsing these songs, especially because I can't write music, and I can't sing it like they do. So a lot of it is me saying, no, not like that, like this. And I'm doing exactly like them, but it's, no. But I have loved my time here at BYU-Idaho and just the opportunities that I've been given from our amazing facilities and our amazing staff. From a little boy who didn't get to go on his mission and who prayed to Heavenly Father, and he said, why not go study theater at BYU-Idaho? And I did, and I got to meet everyone in this room, and there's nothing I would trade that for. So there's the mushy goodbye and love letter to you all. Here is Rain.
We find ourselves mourning at the respectful funeral service being held for the late king of Zasmaria. That means he's dead. In a land far away from your own. Into his loving care we send thee, our friend, our ruler, our brother, our Lord. The heavens await thee. No sadness or suffering, to eternal salvation your spirit adore. May their rest be eternal, free forever from sorrow. Deliver them safely, may we remember tomorrow. O Father in heaven, we bow down to thee, Almighty. We love thee, dear Lord, and send thanks.
Alrighty. Excuse my poorly timed intrusion. I don't mean to cause a travesty, but yesterday I was merely a Henry. And today I am your majesty.
Citizens of Zasmaria, presenting Prince Henry John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmitty Weberman Jensen the Fifth.
Introducing me, your imperial ruler. No longer a tot, just a messing around. Bet you like my dad, but oh honey, I'm cooler. Now my pops is under the ground. I mean, ow, I'm feeling the pain. But baby, now it's my turn to reign.
Repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear.
I do state your name, do solemnly do swear.
Close enough. To protect this kingdom and all of its inhabitants, man and creature.
Do swear to protect this kingdom and all its inhabitants, every human and creature.
And to preserve the legacy of those before me, ensuring an everlasting future for generations to come.
I do.
All right.
So am I like king now?
I think so. May God have mercy on our souls.
All of the praise, I like it. All of the discounts at the grocery store. Everybody in my kingdom simply struck in adoration. Better love me or I'm gonna go and start another war. That's just me, your imperial ruler. No longer a thought, I'm living it now. Don't you so sad, someone fetch me my jeweler. Not every day that someone is crowned. A dozen emeralds hanging low on a chain. Baby, now it's my turn to reign.
I know he's a bit much, isn't he? Well, how much he continues to be is completely up to you, the audience. For you decide what happens this evening. That's right, a choose-your-own adventure. And here is your first decision of the night. Introducing these two beautiful young adults. Are they, one, brother and sister, or two, romantic star-crossed lovers? Applaud for your choice and make it a good one. Brother and sister? Or star-crossed lovers? Okay. Now you chose star-crossed lovers. How beautiful. And just to show you what would have happened had you chosen brother and sister, he would have said,
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
But now you chose lovers, so instead he'll say,
I did.
Nice. Eventually, there will be more dialogue here. We'll learn more about these two individuals and how they'll play such a big part in our story. We don't care too much about them right now, though.
Yeah, isn't this song about me?
Meanwhile, on the other side of Zasmaria, the newly crowned King Henry, whatever his name is, the Fifth, is forced to deal with the many new responsibilities of being a ruler.
Your Highness, do we
Your Highness, how
Hey,
are you maintaining
whoa,
the
whoa.
kingdom?
Just let me reign.
You call that a rain? I hardly call it a drizzle.
As well as his childhood nemesis, the hasty Percy. It hasn't been written yet exactly where he comes from.
Just know that we hate him. We're in a big fight with him. Hello, Percy. To what do I owe this displeasure?
I came down to see what all the hubbub was about.
Yeah.
I heard we had a new fearless leader. But alas, an ass.
Hey, at least I have one as large as my wallet.
Oh, be careful, Hanky Poo. One day all of Daddy's money might not be enough to protect you from such a hot spur.
Ooh, that sounded intense. You didn't get my name right, though, so he probably wasn't talking to me.
Even with Percy C being such a pain in the king's nicked bottom, he still faces no problem greater than his persistent obsessor, Helena.
I give my love to you. I give my loving to you. I give my loving to you. I give my love to you. I give my loving to you. I give my loving to you. And if you're not gonna love me, then my heart's gonna break. And that's a one mistake you're not gonna make. I give my love to you. I give my love to you. I give my loving to you. I give my love to you. I give my love to you. I give my loving to you.
Helena, it was a summer fling. You've got to move on.
Sure. Like how you moved on to my best friend, Hermia.
Helena, you've never even had any friends.
All right, she crazy, he mean, but both instrumental. Meanwhile,
Father? It's Henry, but go on.
You've only been king for a day, but you've already screwed it up, you little bitch.
Name one thing I've done wrong, Father.
You put a cat into a tree, raised the prices of Disney World tickets, and renewed The Walking Dead for an 11th season.
All in an honest day's work.
I won't let you destroy what I've worked so hard to build. What your grandfather and his father worked so hard to build, and his father before him, and his father too, all named Henry.
Oh, please! Enough of your story. Back to mine.
And to his loving care we send thee, our friend, our ruler, our brother, O Lord. The heavens await thee, no sadness or suffering, to eternal salvation, your spirit of God.
I'll be a king for you. Do my duty for you. I'll be a king for you. Do my duty for you.
And if you're not very careful, you'll be burned at the stake.
And that's one mistake I'm hoping you'll make.
Oh, shut up! I'm gonna make it rain. That's A-I-N, not E-I-G-N. But that don't matter, baby. 'Cause now it's my turn to baby, now it's my turn to reign.
Thank you very much,